Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka The Weather Gamer, bringing you Week 3 standing kill leaders and transactions for the WWC. My league run through my Discord server with a bunch of my friends. Just continuing on from where we left off with Week 2. Just quick housekeeping thing. There will not be a match of the week this week. There is no match of the week video coming at all, as I'll discuss when we have the standings coming through and talking about each match. This was a really bad week of matches for this league. A lot of really one-sided victories. So out of respect to the coaches, I'm not going to post any of those games. I feel like it's not good to post matches where people just get absolutely obliterated. I've been on the end of a 6-0, I've been on the end of a 5-0. They're not fun. You don't feel good when they happen, and I think just posting a video of somebody getting 6-0'd or 5-0'd is just not, it's not respectful in my mind to the other coach, the losing coach. So out of respect to the coaches, I'm not putting up a match of the week this week. Hopefully I can get one up next week, but again, I will not be disrespectful to my coaches by posting a video that does not show one or the other coach in a very good light. That's why the match of the week are always super close games, because they're really good games, they are really well played, and I can use those for anybody that checks out the videos and is not a league battler. They can see it and be like, oh, hey, this is how you make a close game, or this is something that did really well, this is something that didn't do really well. And while I know I could do that with 5-0s, 6-0s as well, people can see, hey, this is what happens. I'd rather not. I'd rather just use the close matches as a teaching tool, because it feels more respectful to me. So we're going to kick off the Week 3 with standings, then we'll move into our kill leaders and finish off with transactions for the week. Again, we're going from lowest to highest position. So kicking things off this week, the bottom two teams didn't change, unfortunately. The West Texas Leafeons are now 0-3, minus 14 in 12th place. They suffered a 5-0 loss last week and a 6-0 loss this week. Unfortunately, Magirna came in, set Trick Room, and obliterated everything. It shifted gears to get fat. Oh, apologies for that. I'm sorry. That was right in the mic. Magirna comes in, shift gears, +2 speed, +1 attack. It was a mixed set, and so it was able to basically kill everything, get the special attack boosts, and nothing that the Leafeons had could take a hit from it. Everything just came in, died, Magirna got stronger, and so on and so forth. Which is why Magirna is normally banned in leagues. However, I'm not going to ban it, and I will not ban it in the future. If you play smart around it, and I'm not saying that the Leafeons didn't play smart around it, they just didn't have an answer once it shifted gears, because it was able to outrun them outside of Trick Room. But there are ways to deal with a Magirna. There are numerous ways to deal with a Magirna, actually. So, I don't plan to ban it in the future. I don't plan to keep it or reban it. It's going to stay unbanned in my leagues moving forward because it can be handled. There are plenty of things that can handle it. Yes, it's an issue, but it's something that is a challenge that people will have to deal with. Oops. Somebody, when they were making their slides, forgot to change this, so I'm gonna live edit. Whee! Oh yeah, that's the other thing. No editing software still. I have 2 editing softwares I'm gonna try and play around with and learn a bit with them. The only problem is I started college at the time of the recording. Today is my first day of my final semester of college. So I spent this last weekend kind of enjoying it because it's technically my last summer vacation weekend ever. and it's also, I needed to get a bunch of stuff done that I'd been pushing off all summer to get myself ready for this last semester. So I did not really have time to look into the editing software that I've been given. Thursday morning I have a lab, but then after that lab I have nothing going on the rest of the day, besides maybe a match or two I gotta play. So I will be learning that editing software and trying to make these videos a little cleaner and a little higher quality. That's my goal, is to get to where I'm putting out a semi-professional product, because I'm not professional at all, but I'm trying to put out a semi-professional product so it's not complete garbage. So moving back to where we were at, Louisiana Luxrays 0-3, -12, 11th place. They suffered a 5-0 loss to the OS. I hope I pronounced that right. Pokemon Champion, if you're watching, I hope I pronounced that right. I'm trying to do it correctly because I'm so used to saying OSS Dragonites, and I will probably say it numerous times anyways. But the Dragonites 5-0'd the Luxrays. The Luxrays did not have much of an answer for the team that was brought against them. Just great prep by the Dragonites. My only suggestion to the Luxrays is maybe look at your team, make some adjustments, maybe take a step back and look at your prep. I know the coach of the Luxrays had a event occur this week, so they were not able to put their full time into the match for the week, which is fine. I understand that people's lives happen, and this was an event that couldn't be avoided. So I'm perfectly fine with them not being able to prep and all that. But yeah, just continue to push forward. That's what I have to say to all three of these teams that are 0-3, is keep pushing forward. You can turn a season around. There's still 8 weeks left. 8-3 is a good enough record to get into playoffs. So one of them should make it into playoffs at 8-3 if they could push and win out the rest of the way. Finally, we have the Claunchers here in 10th for our 10th place for our bottom three. The Claunchers had a very nasty matchup. It seems like every week whoever runs into the Mega Salamence mill... No, this wasn't the Mega Salamence game. This was the bulky game. Yeah, they ran into the Baltimore Murkrows, which, if you remember, 5-0'd me with their bulk. Unfortunately, the Chicago Claunchers also took a rather nasty beating from the Baltimore Murkrows, losing 5-0 as well. The Claunchers, to the Claunchers coach, don't worry about it. I lost 5-0 myself, and I have battling experience in a league, whereas this is basically one of your first few leagues. So I can understand how being new and things going, but don't feel bad because you did just as well as I did, and I have more experience. It was not a nice game. Just so much bulk. The Murkrows team is just bulky beyond belief. I've talked about it every week. It's so hard to break through. The Claunchers did what they could to break through it, and just unfortunately it wasn't enough. All I can say is bounce back. I jumped all the way out of 12th down to where I'm currently sitting in the standings. You can do the same. So don't worry about it. Bottom three teams, plenty of season. Let's bounce back. So moving into our next set of three. Lofton Lycanrocs. They lost 4-0 to the Garchomps. Again, another match where the Lycanrocs put up a fight. They put in a lot of chip, but there were just no answers for some of the mons that the Garchomps brought. And unfortunately, just could not break through the team. So the Lycan Rocks ended up taking a 4-0 beating. This is going to be a rather short video. There's not going to be a lot of analysis just because these were such lopsided games that really there's not much to talk about. I'll highlight what happened if it was a major sweep, but again, there's not much to really discuss this week, so I do apologize as well for a very short video. Moving into 8th, we have the OSS Centrets. Not the OSS Centrets, the Ottawa Centrets. Coach Spare Ample, after taking a forfeit the first week and losing a very, very close match against a very difficult team last week, coming on with a very dominating first win. Magirna sweep. That's all I can say. Magirna is broken, but it can be handled. Pardon me. I got a sneeze coming. I can feel it. Maybe. Okay, it's just going to come out at the worst time, I guess. Magirna sweep gets them to 1 and 2. They are actually +1, which is better than the 7th and the 6th place teams differential, but their record does not beat the 7th and 6th, which is why they are sitting in 8th. Coming into 7th, one spot out of playoffs right now is myself with the Chicago Bearticks. I should be 1 and 2, -3. In 8th place, I had absolutely no right winning my game. Granted, it was a roll. It was a very haxy game for both the Cacturns and myself. Between missed Megahorns, missed Thunders, Paras, crits on both sides. It was a haxa game. I think somebody needs to sacrifice something to Haxorus to clear those hacks out, because that was a crazy game, and missing a Thunder, a 90% accurate Thunder, because of Compound Eyes, after hitting 3 in a row, just poor hacks, and I still feel bad for the Cacturns and Matthias, but I'm sitting at 2 and 1, -2, just outside of playoffs. Moving into our top 6. I'm going to live edit again because I just noticed this is off kilter and it's going to bother me when I watch this back and before I put the video up. That should be straight, I think. In 6th place at 2 and 1, -1, the Dutch Pyroers. It wasn't even Mega Salamence, to be perfectly honest. It was Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele was just really annoying in this match. Really punched holes in the Pyroers team that allowed Salamence to come in and clean up. There were also some outside circumstances that occurred during this match that I think played into the match itself. I'm not going to get into details of it. It doesn't really matter at this point. All I can say is the Pyroers, just pick up your feet, ignore in the future. Don't let it get to you so much. I know that's hard to do when stuff happens during a match, but keep your head on and bring it, because you play me this week. I'm looking forward to the match against the Pyroers, and I have a feeling it's going to be a very tough match for me because the Pyroers are going to be angry and looking for revenge after getting beat the way they got beat by the Weasels. Moving into 5th, the Copenhagen Cacturns at 2 and 1 +3. Again, I had no business winning that game. They should be 3 and 0 +1, but a missed +4, but a missed Thunder is what changed the game. I don't expect the Cacturns to be down in 5th for long. I know the teams up above are very good, but the Cacturns are very good, very well coached as well. So I fully expect the Cacturns to start pushing those teams at the top again. I fully expect the Dutch Pyroers to be pushing teams. Like, the top 6 right now are all very, very easily the playoff teams. They could all very easily be the 6. And you still have, basically, the back half of the league still has coaches and teams that could make a push with just some better prep and some non-hacksy. This is going to be a very interesting league to see how we get towards playoffs, because every team has a chance to make it. Every team is very pushy and is going to challenge for it. So watch out. This is going to heat up very nicely towards the end of the season. Moving on, the Garchomps picked up the 4-0 victory over the Lycan Rocks. Not much really to say. They were able to just punch holes the entire game and exploit a few misplays. 2-1 plus 6 takes them to 4th. So coming into our top 3, we have the Baltimore Murkrows riding the back of another 5-0 win. When they win, it's usually a 5-0 right now in the league. When they lose, what did they lose last week? They lost 2-0. So they are currently sitting at 2-1 plus 8, 3rd place. Very bulky team, very difficult to deal with. Somebody's got to start punching holes in the Murkrows if they want to knock the Murkrows out of playoff contention and get themselves up there. I know I don't have another match against the Murkrows unless I make playoffs with them. But definitely somebody's got to punch the Murkrows through their bulk in order to get past them, or the Murkrows are just going to sit here. Very well-built team. We banned toxic stalling, and the Murkrows are taking full advantage of that by building such a bulky team. Coming in second, we have the Os Dragonites at 3-0 plus 9. They also basically just had their way this week with their opponent 5-0ing the Louisiana Luxrays. It was not a very nice match, and actually, if you take a look, the bottom 3 teams played the top 3 teams this week, which really kind of explains why there was such lopsided victories this week. Finally, still sitting in first at 3-0 plus 14, the Tampa Bay Weasels and Coach Fizzle. Mega Salamence, Tapu Lele. Why did 2 of the unbanned Mons end up on the same team? That was really not smart by the rest of the coaches, including myself, and I'm probably one of the biggest ones for not paying attention and letting that happen, but wow. Tapu Lele Salamence, it's a very nasty, nasty combo. It's going to be hard to deal with, and once again, the Weasels are sitting pretty at 3-0 plus 14. I'm going to be really interested to see how it goes when the Weasels start playing some of the other top teams. When the Weasels face off against the Dragonites, that's going to probably end up being match of the week that week. When the Weasels face off against the Murkrows, seeing how Mega Salamence tries to punch through all that bulk. Watching the Garchomps take on the Weasels. Basically, any match versus the Weasels at this point is going to be really interesting for me to see, because somebody's got to beat the Weasels, and somebody's got to beat the Dragonites. It's got to happen sometime. So, that's it for the standings. We're going to move on to the kill leaders. Here. Not much really changed from the kill leaders standpoint, other than Magearna with its 6-0 sweep jumps out of nowhere into 3rd place, and Alolan Muck put in work this week against the Chicago Claunchers to get itself up here. Otherwise, you're seeing basically the same set of Mons from last week, except Mamoswine fell out, and Suicune, I think, was the other one that was sitting in the top 10. I actually don't know, because I don't save these. I run them in Google Slides and then change the slide every week to reflect, and I forgot to write down who the tops were. Mega Salamence still leading kills. I don't expect anything to knock it out of first, except maybe Victini, but that's going to require Salamence to die a couple of times without picking up any kills, and Victini to put in some work. I'm not saying Victini can't put in work, but at this point I think it's a race for second. I don't see Mega Salamence coming out of first. It's a monster. I don't know if I'm going to leave it unbanned, to be perfectly honest. It's just so powerful that, I mean, even prepping for it, I've been prepping for it for weeks now, and I don't really have a solid answer to it based on the team that's built around it. So I don't know if Mega Salamence is coming back for Season 2 or not. That's something I gotta think about. Victini, I managed to keep from getting a single kill against me, which I thought was huge. The last time I played the Cacturns in another league and they had Victini picked up 4 kills before I finally was able to get it to go down. So the fact that it didn't get a single kill before I took it down was huge, I thought, in my mind. It's still sitting very well. It's 7-1 plus 6 for 3 weeks. 7 kills in 3 weeks is huge still. We talked about Magearna with the sweep. Grigas is still riding its 5-0 sweep on me. Or 5-kill sweep. Yeah, it was a 5-0 sweep on me. Week 1. I don't think it's been back. Or if it has come, it hasn't hit the field since then, so it hasn't picked up any more kills. But it's still solid enough to land itself in 4th. Also with 5 kills, Magnezone. 2 deaths, though. I really didn't expect Magnezone to be in the top 5 for kills. Like, that's just not a mon that I expected. Where is Tapu Lele? Where is Tapu Koko? Where are some of the more prevalent threats in Aegislash and some of the other unbanned stuff that I turned loose for this league? This is probably one of the biggest surprises to me, is Magnezone being in there. Infernape, 4 kills, 0 deaths, 6th place. It fell down due to Magnezone picking up a kill and Magearna picking up its 6 kills. But in all honesty, I expect Infernape to stay near the middle of the top 10. I don't think it's going to get up to the kill leaders just because of how much is in this league. But Infernape, once again, proving to be a solid league mon. Darmanitan punching holes, tied for 7th with Alolan Muck, which Alolan Muck came out of nowhere, too. It and Magearna just appeared this week in the top 10 after basically sitting quietly outside even the top 25 the last 2 weeks. Just bulky defensive pivot that was able to, once things were worn down, clean up and get some kills. Darmanitan always punches holes, which allows it to, like, Sheer Force, Life Orb, Flare Blitz, Darmanitan, unless you have a good Fire Switch, is probably going to kill something. And then finally, we actually have a 3-way tie, but I did not include the 3rd mon. Nidoking, Nidoqueen, and Latias, the Chicago Launchers, are all tied for 9th with 4 kills and 2 deaths apiece. Again, these mons I know do work in leagues, but I did not expect Nidoqueen or King to be in the top 10 consistently for 3 weeks now, based on all the normally banned mons that have come in here. That's what's really surprised me the most about this league, is things that I didn't expect to be kill leaders are leading in kills. Things I didn't expect to be good pairs are good pairs. Things I didn't expect to put in work have put in work. I've seen what Trick Room can do now in 2 different matches, so I'm going to have to, going forward in future leagues and even future prep for this league, I'm going to have to prep for Trick Room. I know I still have to play the Centrets. Trick Room Magearna against my rain sweeping team could be an issue. So that's where we sit with kill leaders. Moving on to our transactions. Not as many as last week. I think teams are kind of settling in with their team. They like where they're sitting. They're enjoying the mons that they have. But we do have a swap of poison types. The Chicago Claunchers dropping Tier 2 Nihilego for Tier 1 Scolipede. The Chicago Claunchers ended the draft with almost 100 points. I think they had 100 points left that they could use for their free mons. They took a lot of lower tier stuff and left some of the high tier stuff, so they easily were able to drop a Tier 2 for a Tier 1. I really like the pickup. While Nihilego is good at setting rocks, spikes, Beast Boost, Sludge Wave, Power Gem, all the good stuff, it's a very good mon. Scolipede is like one step higher than that in my mind, which is why it's a tier higher. Poison Point can really put in work. It can toxic anything that tries to hit this thing physically. But the bigger thing is Speed Boost. Speed Boost Baton Pass. Now, this league is not allowed to pass a combination of speed plus any other stat, so you couldn't Swords Dance, Speed Boost, Baton Pass. You could Speed Boost, Baton Pass, or you could Swords Dance, Bulk Up, Calm Mind, Baton Pass, and pass all those stats. So what this is going to do for the Claunchers, they have a relatively slow back-end team. They have speed. They have some really high-powered attackers that, if it wasn't for a lack of speed, they'd be probably Tier 1 mons. Now what the Claunchers can do is they can bring Scolipede as the lead, protect, get a speed boost, sub, get another speed boost, protect again to get a third speed boost, Baton Pass out, and they will now outspeed basically everything short of a Scarfer. This would allow them to bring in, say, Bisharp, and have a, if they brought Focus Sash Bisharp, high speed, even if the Bisharp were to get hit by a move that would OHKO it, the Sash would save it, they could freely Swords Dance, and now they have a +3, +2, +3 Bisharp that could easily punch holes through walls. They could give the speed boost to Aerodactyl and just make that thing even faster than it already is. All in all, this allows them to not also have to bring Scarfers. They can, if they feel like they can get the speed boosts off, then they no longer need to bring Scarfers because they can pass enough speed boosts to negate the Scarf. The only downside is don't get trapped with Scolipede. Don't protect, sub, protect, sub, protect, sub, sub, pop a berry type of thing. And then Baton Pass, so it's basically at 3/4 health when it comes back into speed boost for another team, or another mon. Don't get caught in that, because say you get caught doing that, something else could come in and set up in front of your face, and then you're in trouble, because all you're doing is passing the speed, and now something in front of you is passed, or picked up attack and defense, and you can't break it, even at such a high speed. So that's something that the Claunchers are going to have to be very wary of, is counter setup. But definitely Scolipede gives a big boost to their team overall, and I'm really interested to see how it plays out. And I accidentally just put a slide in. And I'm missing a logo. Yay. Let me go copy the logo real quick. Again, this is where I will learn the editing software and get this down. Baltimore Murkrows this week making a huge amount of changes to their team. Dropping Tier 1 Kyurem Black for Jirachi, dropping Lickitung for Steelix, and apparently they still wanted a Lickitung or a Lickitung Evolution in dropping Hitmontop for Licky Licky. The Kyurem Black was a surprise to me. I'm also a little salty about that, because last week I dropped Goodra and Latios, and the day after that occurred, the Murkrows dropped Kyurem. Kyurem would have been huge for my team, because it could have exploited the hail set by Alolan Ninetales, and it also is just a very nasty mon in general. But apparently they wanted to paraflinch, is my guess, with Jirachi. So not only do they have big bulk, not only do they still have an Intimidate user in Incineroar, not only can they set up Trick Room, but now they can paraflinch you to death. Jirachi drops a T-Wave, and then Serene Grace Iron Heads to get that higher chance of flinches, and basically you can't even break it. It's just gonna make the Murkrows an even bigger annoyance to deal with. I'm so glad I played them already, because I don't want to deal with paraflinching. To be perfectly honest, if I make playoffs and the Murkrows didn't, I wouldn't be complaining, and that's nothing against that Blazing Savage, the coach of the Murkrows. I just don't want to deal with your team anymore. Your team is annoying beyond belief and gives me a headache just trying to think how to prep for it. So, Steelix is another very bulky mon. Gonna be very hard to take down. It's got great physical defense. Can set rocks, can heavy slam, can earthquake, can rock slide, can stone edge. Gets the elemental fangs. Slap an assault vest on it and good luck. It's gonna be a pain in the butt to deal with. And Licky Licky is also a very bulky mon. Wish passing, heal belling, just continuing to help his bulk get better by allowing it to last longer, since toxic stalling can't be done. All in all, just very annoyingly bulky, very difficult to deal with, and once again, annoying. So that's going to wrap up the Week 3 standings, kill leaders, and transactions. As always, just the normal housekeeping stuff. I do stream if you want to catch me stream sometime. You can check out the link in the description. Will take you to my Twitch channel. Now that I'm in school and my work hours and class hours have changed, I should be streaming more when I don't have homework, because I'll have my tower set up in a place where I can leave it set up and not be tearing it down after every stream. So I should be streaming more. If you want to hang out in the Discord server, potentially join the WWC for Week 2. I'm always looking for more battlers. If you want to join WWC for Week 2, definitely join in the Discord and I'll get you connected to the WWC Discord. If you like the artwork, the WWC logo was made by Galactic Damien. He offered to do it for free for me since I'm a little short on funding right now due to college, but normally my artwork is done by Griffin Feathers. His link in description will be in, or his Twitter link will be in the bottom. Definitely go show him some love. He's a great artist, great dude. If you need any commissions, I know he's busy with school right now, but definitely check him out and see, maybe work something out where he can get the commission to you when he's got time, if you're not in a rush. All in all, again, great artist. Final piece of housekeeping. There should be more videos coming to YouTube a lot sooner, or a lot more often. I did join another league run by Galactic Damien. It's his league, similar to mine. Doesn't have all the fun toys to play with, like Aegislash and Mega Salamence and all the Ubers that I ended up unbanning. But we are currently drafting at the time of this video. The draft is almost over. I'm not sure. I still gotta double check with Damien, but I might be running the draft stream for that league. Damien doesn't have a lot of time on his hands right now with what he's got going on in his life to do a draft stream, so I offered to host it for him. I've got to double check, see if he confirms. So there may be a draft stream coming for that league. If there is no draft stream, there will definitely be a draft recap video, team builders, and matches for that. So there should be 2 team builders, 2 matches a week, plus the recap for WWC, as well as match of the week for WWC. That's all the big stuff I've got going on right now. Again, check out the links in the description down below. Thanks for... Oh, you stupid thing. You picked the worst time to pop up. Thanks for checking it out, and I will catch you guys around. See ya.